Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. All right, so very interesting reaction from yesterday that I wanted to point out before we get started here. If you look at the daily chart, we did sweep yesterday's high and we immediately wicked and rejected. So, where we're going from here is very difficult. Right now, this is a market that I do not want to be a part of. We're inside of the range of yesterday, which tells me that we're probably going to consolidate until tomorrow at minimum. And the reason being, guys, if you look at the economic calendar, if we look, today is the 29th, tomorrow's the 30th, we have GDP tomorrow morning, which is going to be huge. We do have jolts at 10 a.m. So if we get something at 10, a sizable move to either direction on the daily, maybe we can look for something. But for now, I'm not convinced that today's going to be a big move. And again, guys, GDP tomorrow, and then we have unemployment claims, PMI, and then we have the unemployment rate on Friday and NFP. So this is tough, but my thinking is this, okay? Morning, Charlie. How's it going, Charlie? All good? My thinking is this. So we have the monthly fair value gap here that I think is going to be forming. So if you look here at the monthly chart, these lines right here are actually the quarterly levels of this monthly candle. So don't be confused by what these are. In fact, we can delete them for now. But basically what I'm looking for is for this monthly fair value gap to get formed, which you can see right here. This is the monthly fair value gap, and I'm looking for us to trade into it for NFP Friday potentially to get to this 20,000 level. So my thesis is that by Friday we should be in this box. Again, could I be wrong? Sure. But I'm thinking right now that that's the case. So that's what I'm expecting for now. On the hourly chart, not much that I see. We're literally just coming up and filling this hourly fair value gap like we did yesterday. I think we're going to consolidate here until at least Friday. Or maybe with GDP, it'll bring us higher. We'll see. But yeah, it's doubtful to me that we're going to fill these standard fair value gaps today. The Asia range was pretty big, so you can see these standard deviations are quite extended here, and the 4 standard deviation lands us into this new week opening gap that is also within that monthly fair value gap. So I think, again, this is the ultimate target, this 4 standard deviation of this Asia range that we just formed today. And maybe we go higher, but yeah. So for today, I don't see anything A plus that's going to form. Again, could I be wrong? Sure, but I'm not going to be sizing up today. It's just not a good idea. We do have news in a few minutes, so let's see if that actually drives us higher. But until there's something really, really good, I don't think it's worth taking. But we'll see. Oh, shoot, I forgot to tell the Discord I was live. So yeah, guys, pretty much what I'm going to be doing for now is wait until that 10 a.m. news comes out. And yeah, we'll just sit patiently and see what we get. Let's take a look at the rest of the market quick. I want to see how everything else is behaving. So one thing to note, if you guys do trade Forex, the Euro New Zealand dollar did sweep a very, very important set of buy-side liquidity here. And this happened during the Trump tariff announcement, I believe. But I have had a long-term short open on the New Zealand dollar. My long-term target, or the Euro NZD, sorry, my long-term target for this is going to be the bottom of this leg of price because it'll be basically trading back into this range. And you can see here that we are trading up into this is the fair value gap that I shorted. And we're trading up basically into this range of price where I think ultimately we're going to have another drawdown to here, which could lead us to a 5% decline, give or take, which is not terrible. So just a heads up. Looking at the rest of the market, I think Amazon's down off of some news about working with China that the administration put out. Who knows what that's about. Nothing's really up, performing well. Hims is up 24%. Wow, let's go. Okay, so my HIMS position is up pretty nicely now after that news. That's incredible. Wow. That is incredible. All right, I'm going to be closing out my sold puts on HIMS today. Um, let's actually do that right now. 1 second. Okay, we're going to buy this back for 19. Okay, so hopefully we'll get to close these out for almost 80%. We'll see if I get that fill. But yeah, very, very, very tough spot to be in these markets. I would not be surprised if we get a short. Let me actually check the lows here. Hold on 1 second, guys. I really do think that we're just going to consolidate. We didn't even hit the first standard deviation of the Asia range from last night. So we could easily come back down here. I don't see anything incredible, though, realistically. What is this low here? Oh, that's the previous all-time, or the previous high that we swept yesterday. Okay, we got 5 minutes till news, so I'm not touching anything, guys, obviously until news forms. Did we form any equal highs here on ES? Let me just check quick. Oh, guys, we do have a set of equal highs here. Okay, this is actually a good target, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe we get a setup to go up here today. That's my thinking. That'll also match up with the idea that we're continuing to consolidate like within this hourly range. So maybe we get a setup to go up here today, guys. That's my thinking right now. That'll give us how many points if we can get it from here somewhere? 78 points, not too bad. All right, so there are perfect equal highs here again. That is the objective now. I didn't see this before, but I think that that could be a pretty good target. Do we have another setup here? No. Came close, but not perfectly equal. Again, guys, I don't care about relative equal highs, though some people do. I like perfect equal highs. If I don't see them perfect to the tick, then I don't care about them. You can see if you look at the high here, the high of this candle is 19,580.75, and this candle is 19,580.75. So those are perfectly equal. Those are normally a magnet for price. Now, it doesn't just mean to long randomly, but those can definitely be a target. We do have a 1 minute inversion here. Not an A+ looking inversion in my view, but nonetheless, if you want to try this, you can. I'm not going to, though. And the reason being, guys, number one, it's very high in premium of this range. I don't like that. Number two, it's right before news. So I do not take an IFEG right before news. Even if this closes above here, we could easily dump and then close back below and then get something later. So but objectively, guys, this is my target today. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Yes, you can. Okay, just making sure. But yeah, this is going to be my target today. The perfect equal highs. And then, yeah, we did sweep this daily high yesterday and reject it, which I'm not a huge fan of for upside until later. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, you can see yesterday we traded down into this hourly. Very interesting. All right, so we got 2 minutes till the news, guys. Pepe, good morning. Pepe, are you back to trading after your hiatus? Okay, guys, we got less than a minute basically until the news. Just over a minute. Okay, 1 minute left. Let's see what happens here. Try the eval again and again. Yeah, bro, don't give up. Just be ultra smart with the trading. Who do you use again for eval? Do you use Top Step? Ninja Trader. Oh, yeah, yeah. I remember you saying. All right, so there's the news. Ooh. See why you don't try and front run fair value gaps like that? But structurally, I don't like the look of this day. I will not lie. Let me just look at ES again real quick. Yeah, this looks so ugly. And again, guys, because yesterday we took out the daily high, right? This is the high of day yesterday, and we swept it and rejected. We are now within the previous day's range, which I don't like. Until we get out of this, I don't think we're going to see much movement. So guys, do not be surprised if we kind of chop around. This is the monthly open, by the way, right here. So don't be surprised if we just consolidate between the monthly open until we get bigger news like GDP tomorrow. Guys, if you're watching the stream, make sure you hit the like button. I want to try and figure out if I can create a source. Was the 1 minute IFEG of 946 valid? Let's see, 946. 946. 945, you mean? There is no IFEG at 946. Are you talking about the... No, if you're looking at the upside, no, not either. So there is technically a 1 minute IFEG forming here. I don't think this is terrible to try. If we get the close above, very close to here, I'll try it. If not, then I won't. Okay, good morning, sir. I don't know if you're talking about this IFEG. I don't know what you're talking about, Pepe, but if this closed below, yes, you could take this. I don't think it's A+. There was a liquidity sweep, but it's a little bit small, not excellent in my view, just from the look of it. I prefer to see them at the highs. So like after we sweep buy side liquidity, if we get an immediate V shape, first of all, the RR is way better, and typically those deliver quicker, faster moves. But it just depends. Like I can't just tell you like if I saw this close below here, I wouldn't be as fond of it, to be honest. So it doesn't look like we're gonna get an entry here, guys, but this could easily drive us up to these equal highs. We're in a macro time. But again, I'd have to see this close above. I don't really like taking these at highs, but I guess I can try it. Uh, Guys, I'm going to skip out on this one. Not a huge fan. Whoopsies, sorry. I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of taking this at the pretty much at the high of day. I don't know. Okay, I already explained this, but pretty much we swept yesterday's high. We swept the daily high yesterday, and I think we're going to be range bound until we get some kind of a breakout. Tomorrow we have GDP, so I think that the sizable moves will probably happen later this week. But I'm going to post in the Discord in a little bit. But objectively, I think we're going to be targeting close to 2,000 by the end of the week, maybe. And the reason being is because we have a monthly fair value gap up here. So I want to see this area get swept around 20,044. Okay, so technically, guys, if you entered this long, your stop has to be at break even here. But I think what's going to happen is we'll trade back down into this, and then maybe we shoot up later. I don't know. But this is not A+ to me. Not a huge fan. I think it's okay. It's again for now it's speculation, but I do think we're bullish. We should be bullish. So the April candle is about to close, right? Today's the 29th, and I think the May candle should deliver us up into here. In which case, from there we might be bearish and we might go and see these lows. But I would like to see the market trade into this bearish fair value gap, and then from here, what happens? I don't know. I will be opening hedges on my long-term positions in this fair value gap because if we do reject, it's going to be probably a very sizable move and we will probably take out the low that formed in the beginning of April. So that's my thesis here. Okay, so it looks like we're about to tap into the equal highs. It is what it is. There's midnight opening price. You really do not want to see us stop here. You want to see us completely just sweep through this. And boom, there's the equal highs. So unfortunately, guys, I did not take that trade, but it was decent. It wasn't A+, but you can see that it did work. It is what it is, but we now have that the daily high. The new daily high is up here, so we'll see what happens with that. If we can break out of this range today, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we go further, but I don't see us breaking out today, just based on the fact that we have GDP tomorrow and we have a lot of bigger folder news this week. So yeah, but we'll see. Pretty decent move there, though, I won't lie. So the reason, guys, that I'm skeptical of any continuous moves right now as well, I've said this earlier in the stream. Oh, nice. I just got filled on my HIMS position, guys. So the puts that I sold at the beginning of last month just got filled. We closed those out for about 80%. So congrats to you guys who are in those from the community. I will alert that. So for those of you guys that missed it, but if you guys didn't hear, HIMS partnered with, I think it was Novo or another health firm company, and they're up 25% after the puts we sold last. So we basically went from up 5% to up 80% in a matter of a day. So that was really nice. Okay, so also, guys, we have this bearish order block here on the hourly and the hourly fair value gap. So my thinking, thank you, Pepe, appreciate it. So my thinking, guys, is that we're just consolidating in this hourly fair value gap before we make a sizable move later. And again, I don't think we're going to see that move into this fair value gap until the month of April closes, because we need to form the bearish fair value gap before trading into it. That's my thinking. Could we do it before? Sure, but I doubt it. So now I'm thinking that we're going to trade back down into this fair value gap. But we'll see. Hold on 1 second, guys. Got to charge my phone. So this black line is the hourly fair value gap high, and this is the daily fair value gap. Oops, should lock these in place. So if we are able to inverse this, I think this will be a pretty good short. And then we could target the low that formed at 10 a.m. So this is a data low, guys, right? Why is this a data low? Does anybody know? Okay, first of all, let me check the stream. Okay, first of all, let me check. Oops. Wow, guys, 5 people watching and 3 likes. Come on, y'all. 6 people watching, 4 likes. Come on, y'all. All right, so if this inverses, why is this a good short? Or why is this a decent short? I'm not going to say anything's good. But we are range bound, and I would expect us to continue to have continuation to the downside and chop until GDP at minimum tomorrow. But why is this a good target? And why is this a data low? Let's see if someone can explain to me. For those of you who are newer, or you might not be and you just don't know. Correct, Pepe. This is the candle that created the news, right? This is the 10 a.m. candle. So everybody who is long this market does not expect this low to hit. And so if they're longing this bullish fair value gap and it fails, or likely we're going to go down to it. Now, if I were you, I would partial in this tiny 1 minute gap, because if we're bullish, they're going to use this to drive us back up. But I think this is nonetheless a decent short. If we close below it, obviously. Let me check the 2 and the 3, though. Oh, yeah. Actually, no, guys. Not ideal, because look at the 3. We have a very big fair value gap here, and the 2. We also have a rather sizable fair value gap. So just because the 1 closes, I need to see the 2 and the 3 close. Always look at your other time frames, guys. Super important. But if you guys want to try this, you can on the 1 minute. I don't really like the fact we have a 2 and a 3 as well. But it's up to you. I'm not going to take this until both close below, though. We have a new week opening gap here as well that we could use to bounce out of, so... You know what I will do, guys? How about this? I'm going to try this a third size position, because I do like the look of this structurally. It looks very nice. So I'll try with a third size position, and I'll allow for the 2 minute to hold this fair value gap. So like, meaning I'm going to allow the market to come back up, and I won't close this until the 2 minute closes back above. So let's see when this closes. We got just a few seconds. So I'll try this with a third size position here. And then this will be our target. Stop loss will be a close back above. And then you guys probably will want to partial here if you have more than one contract. Just a heads up. But I think this looks... Oh, we didn't get to close below. Eek. Hopefully this does close below, guys. I thought we got to close below, but we didn't. That's not ideal. Damn. I thought we got to close below here, guys. We did not. So technically this is not valid, but I'm going to hold it because I entered it. So I'm just going to have a hard stop up here. Shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Again, guys, this was a third size position, so... All right, so that was an L. So unfortunately, guys, I clicked the button here. I thought that we got to close below. We did not. And we did get stopped out on that. I wouldn't be opposed to entering again. The nice part about this is that we have an order block here as well. So if we do close below, that will form an order block to bring us lower. But that was definitely a trip up. Also, guys, we do have an inversion back to the upside, but I am not going to be taking this. We already swept the equal highs. Even if this works to the upside, I'm not going to be taking it. Not necessarily, Pepe. It could just be a fake out. They could close it back below, so... Also, we just created an inversion to the upside, so... Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of what's going on here. But this is ultimately what I'm looking for. If we can get the close below, I'll try it one more time. Still a third size position. But we'll see what we get here. Wow. How ridiculous is that? That is so annoying, guys. But if this closes below, I'll try it again, third size. A few seconds to the close. All right, one more time. Oh my goodness. TP is going to be down here. Stop loss, I'm going to keep it above this wick. Why is my stop loss not moving on this, bro? Okay, I'm going to have to manually close this out then. Never mind. Bro. Okay, so if this goes back above this high, I'm going to manually close this out. TP is going to be down here. Bro, this whole thing is stuck. And this just formed another set of perfect equal highs here, didn't it? No, it didn't. Never mind. 2 minutes still is holding, 3 minutes still is holding, so we basically are praying here. I can't even move my stop to break even, guys, for this thing that you're looking at. But on my fundeds, I have my stop above this high. And if this is a loser, guys, I mean, those are both 2/3 size positions. If this is a loser, then I'm done for the day. Zero more trading. Just a heads up. If this low gets swept too, I'll have to move my stop to break even. Just a heads up as well. Okay, and see if we get the sweep. Okay, stop is officially to break even there. So if you guys see this lose on this account, again, I can't move my stops or anything, but that is where the stop is to break even, so. All right, so TP1 is right here, and TP2 will be at the data lows. I can't even exit out of this position, guys. I don't know what's going on with it, but I think this is obviously paper, so. Let me see if I can close out of it. And then go back in. Bruh. Okay, my stops are at break even on my funded account, obviously, and I'm holding on down to this data low right here. So we're now trading back into this 1 minute inversion. You guys can see it right here. So I partialed in here and I'm holding the runner down to here. Obviously this is going to get stopped out for break even if it comes back to this entry. There is a 1 minute fair value gap here that we could come up. Sorry, I'm on my fundeds. There is a 1 minute fair value gap here we could tap into in this new week opening gap. So just a heads up. But I'm hoping that this just is used as resistance to continue lower and we'll target that data low. Did anybody take the second trade with me? You guys saw that I messed up. See, like I shouldn't even have taken this. Unfortunately, my brain for whatever reason thought that was a close below, and I took it, got stopped out, and we're taking it again, and now we are officially. Pepe it up, took it. All right, nice. We're officially in profit now for the day, but I need to see this continue down to actually get decent profits here. This wick was pretty scary though when I entered, I'm not gonna lie. Nice. Good job, Charlie. Guys, if you took that and you are you banking right now, make sure you click the like button. Beautiful trade so far. Inversion did close above, which is not ideal, but we could easily still use this to go lower. If you guys want a partial at the 830 low, you can, but I am going to be holding the rest of mine down to the data lows for a more sizable move. This is creating kind of like a swing high here. Not really, because we did form this. But we could come down here close. We could trade back up into here. But ultimately, this is the draw, in my opinion, right here. Data low. Okay, so now if this low gets swept, we really should not come back up here. So if you guys want to book profits, you could put your high up, your stop loss up here, so that you're stopping out in profit. Because theoretically, we should not come back now that we've swept that low. We could, but we shouldn't. So if you guys want to book more profits, keep your stop loss above this swing high right here. But I think this should just deliver us here. How to identify data lows. Who knows the answer to that question? Why is this a data low? Oops. Who knows the answer? Somebody help out Evan. What a beautiful trade, too. That was so nice. But let's see if we get continuation. Okay, if this low gets swept, guys, we should just cleanly deliver. I don't want to see us stall after this low gets hit. Come on, guys. There's 8 people in here. Actually, let's see. There might even be more. 7 people in here. 7 likes. All right, that's good. Somebody help Evan out. Okay, so this low did just get swept, just a heads up. I don't think it's going to reverse from here, but you could partial here if you guys want. But I think the data lows are coming. Okay, super close there. Come on, market, dump us. Okay, so it is wicking there, which is not ideal, but I think it should still continue. Yeah, it's really simple, guys. The data low, look at when the news formed at 7 a.m., right? 10 a.m. news, sorry. Eastern time, it's 10 a.m. Pacific, 7 a.m. This is that candle. Look down here. It formed at 10 o'clock. If you see a wick on that candle, that becomes a data low. This becomes liquidity. Make sense, guys? Triple equal lows on the 5 minute on ES. Not a huge fan of ES's triple equal lows, to be honest. ES has a lot. It's a very different. Bro, why is my thing so messed up? ES is very low volume compared to NQ, from my understanding, and it creates a lot of equal highs, and I'm not a huge fan of it. So personally, I stay out of. I don't really care so much about that. I much rather. I care a lot more about equal lows on NQ. Okay, so I'm looking to see this come down and sweep these now. Do 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 do. Bruh, come on. So it's doing the thing where it chops around. I still want to see this come down and sweep the data lows, but hopefully it doesn't give us a hard time. We could trade back up into this 1 minute. Crazy. Okay, so there's the stop out for a profit. Pay attention to this 1 minute fair value gap right here. They might use this as resistance. Okay, so that was a partial TP and then another partial TP. So I am green on the day, but only slightly because I wanted to see that full delivery, but it is what it is. Should still go lower, but we'll see what happens here. Again, wouldn't be surprised if we touch into this and then we get the rejection later, but I'd still want these data lows. Damn, the pair did its magic. Although you didn't follow your advice, don't enter on the same leg of price. True, Pepe, but the reason that I entered again is because the first trade was actually invalid. So if this did close below and then we got this candle, I probably would not have entered again. But because I made a mistake and we formed an order block, I was willing to take it. Does that make sense, guys? If this completely closed below and then it failed, then I would not enter. But because we didn't close below, this was an invalid trade and I was willing to re-enter. But he is correct, guys. Normally, I do not enter twice on the same leg of price. Especially if, yeah, if a trade gets invalidated. Okay, so I would really want to see the market react bearishly from this 1 minute inversion. If we close above like this, then that's not a good sign. I'd want to see it reject from here and then go. Yeah, correct, Pepe. Yeah, if this closed below, guys, and then closed back above like this, I would not re-enter price. But because we never got the inversion, there was never a failure of the trade. Because we never got the inversion in the first place. This was the first valid entry right here. And now it looks like we're coming up to try and stop out traders who entered here, and then it's going to continue down to the data lows after. That's my thinking here. Yeah, so now everyone who entered here, I mean, they're still in, there's no break-even stop yet, but I want to see this body hold. If we close above, then it is what it is. But I think that's going to be it for my actual trades today. We'll see. Maybe I'll take something else, but it's doubtful. Wow, it is bright as hell in here. Wow, that is so much better. So yeah, we'll see what we get. But this is definitely still in the cards, guys. Do not be surprised if we get this later today. Maybe we come up and touch the top of the new week opening gap. Maybe we're just coming up to the body of this candle to stop out traders. No, definitely not. This is way too small, and our draw has not been hit yet. Why would I look for this? Okay, guys. Not every 1 minute inversion is A+. For example, why is this not A+? Number one, we've already swept liquidity on the day. Number two, we're in a new week opening gap, which could easily act as resistance. Number three, we have an obvious data low here. There's no reason, like nothing here structurally is bullish, so I would never take this long. This is far more likely, in my opinion, to fail and go here than it is to go back to high of day. We also have a 3 minute and a 2 minute that need to close above. So until these do, I mean, this is just really tough, guys, because this is a BPR. There's a new week opening gap here. So I don't think that this is anything A+ going to the upside. So if this goes up, so be it. But I don't think this is A+ at all. Maybe we can see another inversion here to target that data low. And if it does sweep this high and we end up going up to the new daily high, then, I mean, we could even see another inversion, but to the downside. But for now, nothing is good. So if it goes in the large 1, 2, 3 minute and reverses, that would possibly be a short. Yes. I still want this data low. So right now we're trading into this inversion from earlier. If this candle holds like this and then we close below this, then that's another short, in my opinion, if you haven't taken anything. That is wild. The odds of this 1 minute working up here are pretty slim. We're trading back up into midnight again. So the other thing is we could come up, sweep this high, and fill the hourly fair value gap again and then go lower, but nothing here structurally says bullish to me. Yet. Popped a perk. For those of you guys, I don't know if I'm allowed to advertise on here, but if any of you guys use Zins, these are way better for you. They're called knickknacks. They're actually mints. I use the 3 milligram and I break them into thirds because I'm literally like any amount of nicotine. Oh, maybe am I allowed to advertise that? Damn. Hopefully I don't get banned, guys. Are you allowed to advertise that on YouTube? Does anybody know? Let's ask Rock. Hold on, guys. Am I allowed to talk about Zins and nicotine on YouTube, or am I going to get banned?
You can talk about Zyn and nicotine on YouTube, but there are restrictions. Content promoting nicotine products, like smoking or vaping, is age restricted and can't be monetized through YouTube's ad platform.
All right, at least I'm not going to get banned. But they have essential oils in them. There's no plastic, no garbage. It's way better. And personally, I think nicotine is a nootropic in very small doses. Like I'm taking a third of a milligram at a time. So up to you guys, not health advice. Just saying. So technically we did inverse this BPR, guys, which tells me that we could come back up to this high, but I am not interested. Definitely not interested in going long here. Do, 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 do. Okay, so this is where I would potentially be looking for a strong reversal down if we're going to get it. I'm not saying we will, but if the reversal is going to happen, it's going to come after these highs get swept right here. So don't be surprised if this ends up re-entering us range bound. Nothing here looks good to the long side. Even though this 1 minute inversed, the 2 minute did inverse, and the 3 minute did inverse. The 5 minute did inverse as well. Okay, I don't want to. If I was a betting man, okay, we did get an inversion to all sides of the upside here. But structurally, I don't like where we are in the markets. I don't like that we have GDP tomorrow. I don't like that we have NFP on Friday. I don't think this is going to work to the upside. Even though a lot of things did trigger here, I don't think it's optimal. Also, we never swept the data low, so I am not going to be taking this to the upside, okay? So you guys see how we swept these highs that I just talked about and we are rejecting? I don't know if it's going to hold, but I do think this is a decent short again to the downside if we can close below this 1 minute. Nah. And also we have now bullish fair value gaps to the downside. Right now, guys, I'm not a huge fan of anything. So I took my 2 trades of the day. I am slightly green because the first trade was a fail. The second trade, we got 2 partials. I don't think there's any reason to be risking anything massive here unless you really want to. But just realize, guys, if this is a BPR to the upside now, then we're going to use this as support to go higher. Or like, for example, this 3 minute, we're going to use this low to go higher. So if you try and take this 1 minute short, not realizing that we're in a bullish 3, you're going to get destroyed. But I'm not a huge fan of anything here, to be honest. Do you guys understand why We didn't deliver to where we needed to. Now we're getting inversions to the upside, but the draw is still bearish. It's just too everything is out of sync. I think they'll just wipe out a lot of longs and then hit the latest high. Maybe, maybe not. This is still in the cards, but now that we've created this bullish structure here, we need to see this 5-minute close below to take the short. So if we do end up coming down here, guys, then I think the odds of us coming down to the data low are super high. But until this 5-minute is broken, this BPR is broken, there's not a good chance that we're going to go straight down. Ooh. All right, let's take off the Ferrari hat. Or maybe the Ferrari hat's good luck. Maybe the Ferrari's what's going to drive us closer to a Ferrari. Who knows, bro? Okay, so you guys can see that this now, people that are trying to front run this 3-minute are sweating now because we're getting a bullish reaction from the 3 and the 1. Right? The 3-minute got traded into and we're wicking out of it. So this could deliver us higher. We could go up to London high. Maybe we get a short after London high gets hit. I don't know. But for now, guys, I don't like anything. There's no reason for me to be longing this when we miss the data low. Very important data low. Interesting that we closed above the new week opening gap on the 5. 15-minute, though, guys, still has not closed above the new week opening gap. So maybe this is going to be what drives us lower here. And there's an order block. Yeah, guys, I'm not going to try this personally, but if you want, you can. I just don't like the idea that we have a bullish 5, a bullish 3. So I'm going to be staying out until I see a very convincing close. Like down here, maybe we can scalp down to the data lows. But until then, nah, not interested. I want to see a failure of this new bullish structure of price. And I want to see support that this new week opening gap is rejecting on the higher time frames, which right now it is not. 15-minute closes at 11. So we've got 15 minutes till the next 15-minute candle close. But yeah, I don't like anything here. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Yeah, but structurally, I don't see anything just yet, so All right. Anyone take anything while I was gone? You better not have. I still would love to see this data low, but I would really want to see. So this is the bullish 5 minute, right? I'd want to see us completely break through this, and then maybe we can take a 1-to-1. Whoops. This would definitely be my last trade of the day, guys. Something like this to target the data lows. Because right now, even if this 1 minute breaks, not a good RR. I mean, a good RR, but not a good entry because we have a bullish 5 right below us. Oh, damn, Tristan, is there tornado stuff going on? I didn't even know that. Tornado warnings. In Spain, the internet's out. So one of my students, Kay, he's not even able to trade. 2 confirmed touchdown in cities around me. Damn. So has your house ever been destroyed by a tornado, Tristan? That's so scary. So do you have a bunker? How do you protect yourself? Or do you just have to hope and pray? Missouri, Kansas. Oh, then I'm not surprised you've seen one. Pray that they never come to you. So this is not really related to tornadoes, I guess. I don't think it is, but I had a physics teacher in high school. Crazy dude, super smart. I think he died of cancer. Bless his heart. His name was Paul Cantor. Super smart. But he used to say that he was like super into climate change, which that's a whole another topic. But he was smart in physics for sure, and chemistry. But he said that he believes that with climate change, that the amount of hurricanes that we see is going to increase rapidly over the next like 20 years. That was like 10 years ago, so hopefully, hopefully he's not right. But I don't think it relates to tornadoes, but still. All right, so nothing yet. Still consolidating in this level of price, but if we do get a big structure shift and we close back below the new week opening gap, I think this 5 minute will fail. That's my thinking here. Yeah, Tristan, who knows, bro? Who knows? As, as long as you're protected or as long as it doesn't hit you, it's fine. But how do you shelter for a tornado? If let's say there's one that comes near your house, Tristan, what do you do? Do you just sit in your house and pray for dear life, or do you have like a bunker or something you can hide in? Hide under the couch. That's crazy. Well, that's cool. That's wild. Like, I know in a lot of cities, like in a lot of towns where there's a lot of war or a lot of missiles, um, like some cities have literal like bunkers that the whole city can use. Or like if it's a smaller town, they like have them in different jurisdictions and then everybody goes into them. But Yeah. Okay, so nothing yet, guys. We're literally just sitting patiently and waiting. Wow. It looks like they are going to sweep London high. So again, guys, this was a decent 5-minute inversion. I'm not going to lie, but we didn't sweep our data low yet, which I still think is possible. So I cannot take this when I have a bearish bias. So we could easily come up and sweep London high, maybe even sweep the daily high. It's possible, but I'm not putting any major emphasis on this bullish reaction here. In fact, this looks pretty good to the downside. Technically, you'd want to wait for both to close below, but yeah, we'll see what we get. Maybe we sweep this, sweep London, then go higher. I'm going to move this because it's the hourly fair value gap. Whoops. Oh, yeah, let's remove it. Maybe we get a really good RR short here. It's possible. And then again, the target would be data lows. But nothing leads me to believe this is going to be continued bullishness here. But you guys see why I don't like to short when we have all these bullish PD arrays. Again, guys, I'm not a market guru. I don't claim to know where the market's going 24/7. Normally, I'm not wrong, and I'm probably still not wrong. It's just a matter of time. So, and liquidity. So maybe they want to take liquidity above us before we go lower, but this to me looks pretty decent, what I have on the screen. And the target obviously would be the data lows. Whoa, someone sold 6.8 million worth of SPX puts next week. That's a very bullish sign. And I'm not being sarcastic. When you sell puts, if you guys don't believe, not don't believe me, if you don't understand how option selling works, selling puts is a very bullish sign. Especially 6.8 million. Though it's not, it's kind of like a chump change type of thing, but they're expiring next week. So the expiration is pretty short, which means that person is expecting a pretty large move. And again, guys, my thesis, I've said this before. We have this monthly fair value gap that is forming here. How many days are there in April, guys? 30 days. So tomorrow is the last day of April. My expectation is that NFP Friday brings us up into here. NFP Friday is normally a trend day. I think it's going to be a bullish trend day up into this fair value gap. So we're going to be very, very, very watchful for longs on Friday. Do not miss that, guys. Or even Thursday. We'll see. But I don't know if I'm going to be on YouTube for sure. I'll be in the Discord. In fact, let me post a link if you guys want. We are running a free 3-day trial. But, ooh, pretty bearish reaction here. Hold on. But for now, guys, I'm doing 3 days on YouTube, 2 days in the Discord. But the best days to trade, in my opinion, which are going to be tomorrow and probably Thursday, maybe Friday, will be in the Discord. Okay, so bullish reaction out of the one. I'd want to see this be used to deliver us up to the London high. But if this fails, I think we're going to have a nice short here. It's in a macro time. We swept high of day. I'd like to see London get swept first, but it's not necessary. All right, so here's the bullish one. I think we're going to go up to London high now. If you guys want to take a 1-for-1 scalp, by all means. High risk, but it'll probably work. And then if we do get a nice short from London, that will be golden. And the other line, so we have London high right here. You guys can see it. And then this is the daily high and Asia high. But we'll see what happens here. Don't be surprised if we get another short. Also, we have a bullish 15 minute. If this fails too, I think we're going to dump. It's not necessarily about valid, Pepe. It's just about probabilities. Like, it's likely that the London high will sweep. It's not as likely that Asia will sweep, but it's possible. But to be longing up here, guys, is not good RR. And you can easily get smoked. So I don't like doing it. But yes, it's I wouldn't say valid is the right word. Nothing in the market is truly valid. Everything is a probability. Nothing is guaranteed. Although there are things that are like 90, sometimes 90, 95, 99% guaranteed. Like if we end up collapsing here structurally and we close below the 5 minute, the odds of us hitting this data low increase significantly. So you could technically deem it as valid, but probability wise, if this 5 minute closes below, the odds that we're not going to come down and sweep this data low are super slim. Right now, you can see that we are holding this 5 minute bearish fair value gap too. Just a heads up. You can see it right here. This is the gap. So if that holds and we have a big, strong bearish close, then I would not be surprised if that delivers us all the way back down to the data low. So, yeah. And what's so hard here, guys, for newer traders, okay, they want to long this to target this London high because they think it's very likely. Sure, it is pretty likely it's going to hit. But the market oftentimes likes to create these big wicks and stop people out. And next thing you know, you've taken 5 trades here and you keep getting stopped at break even or for a loss. So by the time this does hit, you've lost. And then a lot of people aren't willing to accept that they're wrong. So if this does end up completely collapsing here, they'll hold their position still believing it's going to hit. So it's just not good RR. It's just not smart to be taking these longs. Even though they will probably work, it's just not, in my opinion, not worth it. Yeah. I say it because I did it. I've tried everything in the market. So look at this. This is really scary. So this looked really probable, but now that this is closing below, this is a lot scarier if you're trying to hold this. Most people got stopped out trying to do a 1-for-1 trade here. It's just not worth it. So this is not a good sign for bulls. If this closes below, I think I'll try a short here. Targeting the data lows. This is a better long, by the way. Now that this 1 minute inversion is created, if we close above this, that is almost, the odds of this now working to London high are a lot higher. So if we get a bullish reaction from this 1 minute and then close above here, that I would take as a scalp. Because now I have a defined risk, meaning a close back below this 1 minute inversion. So we've got 20 seconds until the candle close. Let's see what happens here. But this is not what you want to see if you're bullish at all. Unless we get a miraculous close back above this, which will happen in the next minute. So candle is about to close. All right, so there is a 1 minute inversion here. If we do close above this, that's a decent long in my opinion. I'll try that third size to target London high. But if we close below this, I'm going to go short. So if you're a 2022 model trader, this is your entry for the short. I'm going to wait for both these 1 minutes to inverse. I'm just panning through different time frames here. And if this 5-minute closes below, that's even better too. So not a good sign for bulls, that's for sure. But if we get this inversion, I will try it. But this is another, again, 2022 model entry. If you want to enter short here, stop loss would be like a body close above here or here. But my thesis is this is going to be used to drive us lower. So buying and selling in an order block is the closest thing to gambling you get. Buying and selling in an order block. No, because I always pair an order block with a fair value gap. So this looks like it's potentially going to inverse here. That's a pretty decent long in my opinion. If we get the close above, obviously. If we don't, then there's no long here. So I really want to see this reject. I want to see strong displacement down here, ideally. I don't want to see this close back above. I'd want to see this close below and then a close below the 1 minute here, and then hopefully that'll drive us all the way down to the data lows. And if this fails, guys, and we trade into this 5 minute, I would partial in there, right? Because this is a bullish 5 minute. And then you could leave your runners down to the data low. So we really want to see this completely close below midnight here and just collapse. I don't want to see it stall. Okay, beautiful. Now we just want to see this dump. Completely dump. I don't want to see it come back. Beautiful collapse here. But we do have a new week opening gap here, but I think this is just going to fail, realistically. Super nice. Now this low is coming most likely, and then this 5 minute. So my objective is now this bullish 5 minute gap, and then I want that to close below and then take out the data lows. Very nice that the order block is holding. I'd love to see a stab into this 1 minute before going lower. But it doesn't have to happen, but we'll see. Okay, so if you guys want to enter here on this order block, you can. I think this is a pretty good entry as well. Stop to break even at this low for sure. Beautiful. And then obviously the target, guys, is still the data lows. Look at this RR, 5 to 5, 5.5 to 1. So you do not want to see us close back above this OB. We could technically come up and stab into this 1 minute. I'd rather not see that happen now. Also, we're trading back into this bullish one. So if this does happen, you want to see this wick right into here really quickly and then immediately reject. Or trade into the mean threshold of this OB. There's also a little volume imbalance here. So this is like the end of the line. If this doesn't hold, then this will probably not continue. But I want to see a quick stab into this. Hopefully it does it. And then an immediate rejection. Okay, so there's the tap in. I want to see this immediately reject. Okay, beautiful so far. If this low gets swept, I'm fairly confident we're going to have a big move down. But you have to be careful because we do have this bullish 3, but I think this is just going to fail. So you can see the bodies of this candle held the mean threshold of the order block. Wicks do the damage. Bodies tell the story. We should sweep these lows. Then if you guys are in this short, I would definitely partial in this 5-minute gap because this is a bullish PD array that could be used to reverse price. So this is probably going to fail, and we're going to tap into this 5-minute now. So I don't want to see this 3-minute hold. I want to see this completely fail and stab into here. Beautiful. And this 5-minute was going to come exactly at this new week opening gap. So even better. Let's see if I get... So I'm not going to lie, I'm in this on a funded. Okay, so my first CP got hit on the funded, and now I'm going to be holding until the data lows for the rest. Very small size on one of my older fundeds. This is actually a funded that I'm in drawdown on, so I think this funded I'm down $200. Let me check. And if you don't believe me, this is an old funded account, but the data lows are down here, so this is my objective. And now I really want to see this 5-minute not be used as support. I want to see it completely fail. If it bounces out of here, again, my stop is all the way up here. So I don't even care. It's going to be a stop in profit or break even. But I think this is going to completely collapse. Then I think this low is coming, and then the data lows. So if we get that, I'll be done for the day. I was already slightly green, like I said, for the first 2 trades that I took. But if this fails and we get to the data lows, then that'll be a very sizable green day. And let's see if it happens. Again, the line in the sand now. So now we're at the bottom of the new week opening gap. So this should be used as support if we're bullish. It's also a 5-minute gap, so this should just completely reverse us if it's going to be bullish. But I think that all the bearish PD rays are going to be used to be violated to go down here. This is the draw. Nothing better than a free trade. Get familiarized with when you should be moving your stops to break even. In fact, let me ask the question here. I've already said it on the stream, but why is this a good place to move your stop to break even? Let's see who can answer it. There's 2 reasons. Honestly, even 3. that I can see right now looking at the screen without moving any buttons, without moving any time frames. Wow, 13 people watching and only 8 likes, guys. I literally just called the market tick for tick, and we got pretty much 50% of people liking the stream. Okay, so the 3-minute, did the 3-minute close below? No. 3-minute is still holding bullishly here. 5-minute did inverse. Tiny little 5-minute here, but we did inverse it. So I think I'm expecting the bodies to hold here and then collapse. Nobody's going to answer the question, huh? Also, we just touched into this bearish PD array right here and we wicked, so this is going to drive us down, guys. I'm telling you right now. The odds of this data low hitting now are increasing with every bearish PD array that is held. But again, is this a good RR now? Trying to short in a bullish 5-minute? No. Your entry should have been up here in this 2022 model short. Or this 1-minute inversion like I explained on the screen. So the reason that you shouldn't be shorting here and you should be moving your stop to break even is that this bullish PD array, if we are bullish, is going to be used to go higher. We're also at the bottom of a new week opening gap. We're at the weekly open. So this is a potential pivot point. So if we're bullish, we should react from here and go back up. But my thesis is that this is going to close below and we're going to come all the way down to the data lows. So this is why I said earlier, guys, don't just try and do a 1-for-1 to target London. I said you could if you wanted to, but the R sucks. You're more likely to get stopped out for break even. No reason to do that, in my opinion. All right, 10 likes, getting better, getting better. So now you just sit patiently. Again, guys, my partial was in this 5-minute, and now I'm holding my runner all the way down to data lows. If it hits, great. If not, we're now pretty green on the day. No need to take anything else. I took the first trades on my funded accounts that are more sizable, and this trade I took for an account that was in drawdown. So it's not like a huge win on a drawdown account. I can only trade with 2 micros on that account. It's a 50K. So even if this hits, that'll only be, I don't even know, $200 profit maybe. But not terrible, just not amazing. So you guys can see the 5-minute is reacting bullishly, but what I'm looking for now is to see that every PD array, bearish PD array is held. So the 5-minute inversion is still holding here. You can see that we're rejecting the bodies strongly here, but I want to ultimately see this 5-minute fair value gap get closed below. That's going to be the major signal that we're going to dump to the data lows. And if you guys are in this from up here, I think once this low gets swept, if it closes below, if the body of this candle or the next one closes below this wick, your stop and profit should go here, because this is a swing high and we should not tap back into this if we close below this candle's wick. This should deliver us down all the way to the data lows. So once this low closes below, I'm not talking about a wick. If we get a bodied candle that closes below this swing high, I will move my stop here, because this swing high should be left alone. We already traded into this bearish 1-minute gap. This should be used as resistance to continue lower, and we should not come back up here if we're bearish. Is anybody else in this? Tell me somebody took it. Pepe took it? Nice. Anybody else of the... I don't know how many people are in here right now. Charlie's in it? Nice. Good job. I hope you guys entered up here, though. Because if this ends up reversing from this 5-minute, we could have a pretty decent bullish reaction. I don't think it's going to happen. I think this new week opening gap is going to act as resistance. But, again, once we get the 1-minute close below this low, then I will move my stop to the swing if it happens. Otherwise, I'm going to get stopped at break even here, which I'm fine with. But I'd like to see this act as resistance, and then I'd like to see us trade down to here. I think all this is manipulation. Tristan, wait a minute. Was the hourly run from 9 to 10 manipulation because it closed above the 7 a.m. order block, but holding to 3 a.m.? Can take a look and see. I don't really consider this manipulation because we're not really sweeping major liquidity. No, I don't really view that. This is kind of more consolidation, and it's happening, in my opinion, from within this hourly fair value gap. So I think this is literally just consolidation, holding this hourly fair value gap, and now we're going to come back down and sweep the data lows, most likely. Again, could I be wrong? Sure. But I'm willing to move. My stop is at break even here, so I can't lose on this trade. My stop is right above this Wix high, and my entry is over here. So I'm hoping this is manipulation and that we go down, but we could do something here where we go up higher, stop me out. If so, that's fine, but if I get a more sizable move here, that'd be awesome. But we really, really should not come back up here if we're bearish. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing here. There's no inversions. If you guys have not entered a short and this ends up inversing to the downside, then that's another good short in my opinion. But hopefully I don't get stopped for break even on the rest of this. And this is why it's so important to take partials, guys. There's a reason I took a partial in this 5-minute. Woo! Nice move there. I want to see this candle hold. I do not want to see this come back up. Came super close to my stop. Is there an SMT with ES? Let's see. Yep, there's an SMT with ES here, which I like as well. I need this to hold though. So if you guys want to take another short, if this ends up closing below here, then your risk reward is a little bit worse, but you have a controlled short, right? Your stop loss will be a 1-minute close back above, and your TP is the data low. So this is still a almost 4-to-1 RR, not bad. But I need to see this hold. I don't want to see us come back above this candle's high now. If it does, I'm almost certainly going to get stopped out for break even on the second half of the trade. VWAP. The VWAP's holding up the price. Guys, the VWAP. Oh no. I love you, 3-bar reversal. I remember you, but I refuse to acknowledge the VWAP. Beautiful SMT here at the highs. Big rejection here. This should deliver us down. If you guys want to enter a 1-minute short here, your stop loss will be a close back above this 1-minute. So now you have a controlled trade, and your TP will be at the data lows. Ooh, don't like that wick. Need to see this close below. My guess is that this next candle is going to be sizable and they're not going to give an entry, but we'll see. By the way, I am moving my stop here, so now I will officially be in profit. If we are bearish, we should not come back up to this candle's wick and body. We really should not. And that allows me to stay in profit too. So no close below yet on the 1 minute. Okay, so there was no close there. Tap into the 1 minute fair value gap right there. I want to see this reject. So this is what I'm saying, guys. When you have a bias, you need to see everything be validate your trade. So I was looking for an SMT here. We got it. Looking for a very bearish candle. We got it. Now I'm looking for this to wick into this bearish PD rate and immediately reject. I do not want to see us come back up here. If we do, that tells me I'm likely wrong and that we'll come back up. So I need to see this be used as rejection. So if you're in, well, you're not in yet, right? The candle hasn't closed yet. This is going to be your entry. Hopefully it'll give you an entry. The further down it goes, the worse I like it. But technically, this is an entry right... Hold on. Right there. That's an entry for a short. Stop loss will be a 1 minute close back above this inversion, but I would actually have my stop here. So the RR is a little bit worse, but this is your trade. It's a 2.6 to 1. If you're entering from here, your stop needs to be break even when this low hits. So again, that was the entry right there. So it's actually a 2.24 to 1 RR. Stop to break even at this low, and then target this low and this low. Okay, beautiful trade so far. Gotta wait for this low to sweep. Okay, stop to break even right there, and I would hold all the way down to the data low. So if you entered there, that's a free trade. Don't be surprised if you get stopped out. We might come back and wick into the entry, but that's a free trade right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Guys, who else does this? Who else literally calls entries and exits like this? I don't know. I told you guys, I'm still in this trade and I'm holding all the way down to the data lows. I showed you the funded account. I don't normally do that, but again, it doesn't really matter what I do. It matters what you do. And if you guys learn IFVGs and you learn how structure works and you learn bias and you learn about data candles, I mean, eventually, if you keep seeing this day in and day out and day in and day out and you have risk management, you will end up being successful. It's just a matter of time. But again, this is a free trade, so yeah, I don't know many that do. Beautiful. And now, again, data lows are my target. If you want a partial here, you can. If your entry was here, guys, this should just cleanly deliver. We should not see it trade back into this. If it does, then it's still a free trade, but we shouldn't now. This should deliver us down to this low and then the data lows. And the 5 minute is still holding. I will be real. The 5 minute is still holding, and we just got the next 5 minute candle. So this is technically still bullish, okay? If you took this short from here where I said your stop should be at break even, because if we're bullish here, this 5 minute is going to be used to go all the way back up. My stop loss is above this candle's high right here. So I will be stopped in profit if we end up hitting that. Because I want to see this completely reject from this area of price. Okay, so this 1 minute fair value gap right here and the weekly open, I want this area to hold. Okay, so if you just entered where I told you to, you got stopped for break even. And I just got stopped in profit right there on that wick. All right, so amazing trade. Again, I still think the data lows will hit eventually, but for now, it is what it is. So I really would love to see this reject, but now it is what it is. So congrats if you guys took that trade. Yeah, I mean, look at this. That's so unfortunate. I think this is probably the stop out candle, and then they're going to deliver it now. So this is where FOMO comes in, guys, because I could have gotten a much more sizable move, but it was still pretty big. And yeah, so now we just let it run. If this inversion happens, then we'll probably go back down here. Right there. But you can see that this 5-minute bearish PD array is getting this 5-minute bullish fair value gap is getting a strong reaction. So I still think this new week opening gap is going to act as resistance, but I have to protect my capital and lock in profits. Good morning. Blew my 50K PA last week. Damn. That sucks. Was it stupid trades, Jay? Or did you follow risk management? Because I doubt it was following your plan, but sometimes you do have like 5 or 10 trade drawdowns or losses in a row. Normally, I don't have more than 2 losses before a win, but stupid trades, yeah. It is what it is, bro. So yeah, guys, 64K balance to 0. Oh, so you had a 14K profit on the 50K? And you drew that, let it draw down? Damn. That's tough. So I think that's going to be it for today, guys. If I see something A+, I will call it, obviously. This 1 minute inversion doesn't look bad either if it does happen. If this closes below and you can target the data lows. It was in about 5 trades. Damn. But yeah, guys, if I see anything A+, I'll call it in the live alert section. There's a link to the Discord if you guys want it, but if you want to join, but it's right here. I called one that was pretty decent, I think yesterday. But we got stopped for break even, which is fine. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the Discord. If you guys have any questions, DM me. And yeah, hopefully we get another good setup. But until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Discord day, GDP. If you guys are in the Discord, make sure you're up early. 5:30 a.m. Pacific, 8:30 Eastern is when I'm going to be live for GDP. Hopefully we'll get a good data candle setup. But yeah. All right. See you guys tomorrow. See you later, Charlie.